sorry, I should have told you. So I'm going to actually do some puppet speaking for Frank now because I guess he's maybe still sleeping because he's on the other side of the world, as you know. So we are going to give you an update on the journal. So this conference is organized between the journal and the project. The project is ending, as you know, on the 31st of December. We very much hope that the journal that has also sprung up in the context of the project will continue, because I think it has an important role to play, as I said when I opened the conference, to bring together computer scientists and lawyers, and on top of that, people who have relevant expertise in philosophy, in STS, political economy of legal technologies, etc. So I'm first going to read to you what Frank sent me last night, asking me to apologize for him not being here in person, which he would have wished. As some of you may know, he has recently moved to Cornell Law faculty and to Cornell Tech. So he's basically saying, I'm doing 2 professorships now there. And that he asked me to read on his behalf this update. So I'm speaking for Frank, who says, CRCL has brokered some of the most important and original conversations in computational law in the past decade. We are deeply grateful to the staff, authors, repliers, peer reviewers, and readers who've been part of this community. As new forms of generative AI began to get traction in the legal profession, I can think of no other venue equipped to combine legal, computer science, social science, and humanities expertise in order to assess the potential benefits and limits of this technology. And I'd also note that our policy on gender balance and inclusiveness is a deep commitment of the journal, which has done much to enrich its discussions. We also take care of things like gender and other balance at the level of reviewers, which you will not see. And we don't do that out of some sort of dogmatic loyalty to gender balance or something like that, but because we have discovered when we force ourselves to look for people in the different disciplines, and of course, computer science is a discipline which is not that balanced, that it forces us very much hard work to look deeper into the communities, to go to websites, to look deeper. So click, 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 click. And then we find that we find very, very interesting expertise. So by doing this already at the level of review, not to show off, because we are not telling you who are the reviewers, but because it enhances the quality of the discussion here. Our rich conversation on transdisciplinarity and interdisciplinarity, and I will say something about cross-disciplinarity, of course, yesterday reflects the important role of a journal like CRCL or Circle in bringing together thinkers with diverse perspectives on the legal question. Without independent academic analysis, it is all too likely that the computational legal system will become one more part of the life world, colonized by the profit imperative of mere managerialism. Too little regard on fundamental rights and fundamental legal values. He is adding, and I'm subscribing to that, I will say something more about that, is that the journal is seeking to expand its editorial board, and especially the production team. We are a diamond open, that's the best ever type of open access journal. That means authors do not pay a subscription, an author fee, and subscribers do not provide a subscriber fee. But as you can imagine, we all have to live and eat, so all this work is done additionally And you could say that in terms of reviews and authorship, that's part of your job if you're in academia. But things like copy editing and production work are not. So we are very much looking for people who are interested in doing production work. So that means they must have some ability to work with software, to do not really programming, but they must have some technical interest. And they will be trained by the people who are doing this currently. And the same goes for copy editing, and they will be taken on in the editorial team depending on seniority. But we're really looking forward to PhD students, postdocs stepping in, becoming part of the journal for some time, and learning about how the whole process, the editorial process, how that works at the back end, being shepherded by one of the handling editors. And as you can imagine, the throughput of these papers is very different from, let's say, regular papers, because we have many disciplines coming in. So we have to look for the peer reviewers in those particular disciplines. And then after a paper gets accepted based on the reviews and the editorial decisions, a whole new process starts, because we have to invite people from another discipline to provide a reply of 1,000 words. And often within the discipline that we invite, there is no academic credit for doing that, because the 1,000 words is not considered to be a serious article. CRCL has no impact factor yet, etc., etc. So we're basically inviting charity. We're inviting people to listen to the vocation of science, not the job, and to engage with this. That takes time, that takes negotiations, that takes explaining again and again, which also makes the journal a very interesting conversation, once again. Okay, so yeah. Let me say that I want to repeat that what in marketing terms would be the unique selling point of this journal is articles from different disciplines. Some of them interdisciplinary in the sense of being authored by authors from different disciplines. But that's not the unique selling point. There are journals for that. The unique selling point is that after that, we start this conversation between different disciplines. And other than the reviews they have already passed. So the papers we published have had their double-blind peer review. The invitation to the replier is not, let's kill this paper and show off how brilliant we are. That's nice for other papers or in the review process. We all know how these things go as we sit here. The invitation is, get interested. See how somebody from another discipline looks at something. Get totally flabbergasted and surprised. Get angry. No, you can't do it like this. It doesn't work like that. You're saying things about machine learning, which is not your topic. You don't know anything about it. I'm going to tell you that. Not to bash another person, but to remind lawyers that when they trespass epistemically, that they are going to be called to account. Not by fellow lawyers, probably, but by computer scientists. And the other way around, same thing. I think that some people would consider that an experiment. I don't think it's an experiment. I've been promoting and practicing this format in the book Profiling the European Citizen, which came out in 2008. Same format. I think it was much appreciated then, it's appreciated now. So I think this way of doing things is a unique selling point. And actually, I hope, because I'm not a marketeer, that it will not remain a unique selling point, because I hope other journals will do similar things. There's a second thing that is special to the journal. It combines theoretical perspectives, like we have articles like Madhvita Chirimuti's, who's a philosopher, articles on rules. and we have very technical articles. So this combination and the interaction between the two levels of looking at both law and computer science and developers and legal practices. So the study of law is not the same as the practice of law. It's a different type of expertise. Developing a system is not the same as computer science regarding that system. So we are combining a lot of things, and we want to do all that at the level of excellence. This is part of an ERC advanced grant. We're not just babbling around interdisciplinary, taking a sip here and there. We want to do this very well. And I do think that combining that theoretical perspective with feet on the ground, feet in the mud, is what we really need now, because our world, the ground we stand on, is being reconstructed, and we'll have to take care that it does that that it is done in a right way, and try to contribute that little bit that we can. So very welcome to the journal. Please visit the site. I can put it on now, but I'm not sure that's helpful. Visit the conference site. We will make sure, I'm not sure whether that's the case at this moment, that there's a link to the journal. Download the articles, look around. It's really very exciting. So we'll have a special issue where the position papers that are not peer-reviewed, they are invited. They are all written by leaders, global thought leaders at this junction. That special issue will be published as soon as possible. No replies, the position papers grouped together. And after that, we will continue publishing the other papers that are pending. We're hoping that the 4 papers that have been presented this morning will be submitted in a revised version before the end of the year. That was the update on CRCL, the journal, the Circle journal. And that, of course, brings us full circle back to a very important moment in this conference, which is called lunch.